Hello, welcome. Good evening. I'm Gail Palat. Welcome to all of you who have joined us in person, online, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Zoom. If you are one of our streamers, please go in the chat and let us know where you're streaming from. For those of you who are here in person, please take a moment to silence your cell phone. We begin our Wednesday evening service with a 10-minute meditation. So get comfortable in your chair. Put your feet on the ground if you'd like. Put your back up against the chair. Close your eyes if you're comfortable. And just focus on your breath, breathing in and breathing out. When your mind wanders, just notice gently without judgment and bring your focus back to your breath. And if you'd like to have a mantra, we say, God is the love that I am, silently. I will bring you out of the meditation in 10 minutes. Enjoy.
Welcome, everybody. Let's, you stand if you want. Otherwise, just join us for our opening song, I Am Open.
What's next? You. You are open. Yes, you are. You are open. Yeah. You are open to receive the love in you and me. You are open, open. You are open. You are open to receive love in you and me. Now next it has to be we. We are open. We are open. We are open. Yeah. The love in you and me. We are open. We are open. You know we are. We are open to receive the love in you and me. Oh, yeah. The love in you and me. Love in you and me.
One more time, big finish.
Love in you and me.
All right, give yourselves a hand. Please be seated.
Welcome. Let me welcome everybody who has come during the meditation. Please, as a reminder, turn off your cell phones or your devices if you're in the sanctuary. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. It's so good to see you all. Let's pray. I let you breathe in, God. And I breathe out all that no longer serves me as I breathe in, God. I breathe out the past and the future and just to stay in the present as I recognize that God is all there is. The principle, power, and presence. God is love. God is present right here, right now. And there is nothing that can separate me from my Creator. I am an emanation of the divine. I know that for myself, and I know that for each and every one of you. We all are of God. We all are of love. And that is beautiful. And I speak my word for this service this evening, absolutely knowing that it is divinely guided. God guides every part of our service, and we are blessed. We are blessed by our musicians, and we're blessed by our volunteers and our staff and our lighting and everybody that has participated in this service. They are all a blessing to our church. And I absolutely am so delighted that we hear Reverend Sydney tonight channel God's word. And she does it with love and light and laughter. And we learn everything we need to learn. We hear everything we need to hear. And we are blessed to be witness to it. We are just blessed to be in this church. And with a grateful heart, just brimming with gratitude, I release my word into the law of mind. And so it is, and together we say, Amen. Please join me in the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. And turn into your program, and we're going to say the statement of being together.
Hi. I've got one too.
Oh, you have your own.
I've got my own.
Oh my
Go
God,
for it.
I share.
You're on.
I'm a sharer. Statement of being for June 2023. Today I listen to the urgings of my heart. I know that my creative imagination is my connection with Spirit's brilliant and genius. With enthusiasm and excitement, I invite new ideas, new dreams, and new ways of honoring the life within. My heart is strong, my path is clear, and my words are filled with the power of love. The universe itself applauds and celebrates me, for I am fearlessly and wondrously made. God is mighty in the midst of me, and I rock. And so it is. Amen.
Yeah, clap, clap. That rocks. I heard you, you heard me. We heard until we're through. We say we're over it, but it shows in the things we do. It eats us up inside till there's a hole a mile wide, filled with anger and fear. But now I know when I forgive for good, that's when I am free to receive the joy of the past. It's for me, it's for you, it's forever. We are blessed when we find forgiveness. I judge you, you judge me, we judge our lives away. We think we're justified, and it shows in the things we say. It eats us up inside till there's a hole a mile wide, filled with anger and fear. And now I know when I forgive for good, that's when I am free to release the pain of the past. It's for me, it's for you, it's forever. We are blessed when we find forgiveness. I held you responsible, I could have held you tight, but I had to be right. I just had to be right. Now I know when I forgive for good, that's when I am free to release the pain of the past. It's for me, it's for you, it's forever. We are we find forgiveness, when we find forgiveness, when we find forgiveness.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's pretty much my talk. So, steal my thunder, why don't you? All right. When you all saw, well, I'm impressed. When you all saw that the title of the night was Freedom and Forgiveness, apparently you pushed past your resistance and your fear about that and came anyway. So, yay. A lot of us don't want to do that. When we use that word, the F word, the forgiveness word, it makes us nervous because it means, oh, now I'm going to have to confront some of my stuff. I'm going to have to look at what's going on within me. And that's not comfortable for everybody. I'm going to say it's not comfortable for anybody. And that's how you know you've got work to do. But let me start off with a little bit of lightness. There's a comedian around that some of you might remember. I haven't heard his name in a long time. Emo Phillips. And he said, when I was a kid, I used to pray every night for a new bicycle. Then I realized that God doesn't work that way, so I stole one and asked him to forgive me. You heard it here. I'm a minister. That's right. Okay. So here's the thing about forgiveness and resentment and anger. We gather people to our side of the team, right? We gather agreement. It galvanizes us when we figure that there's someone over here who's like the enemy, who's the perpetrator, and then there's a victim thing. And there's a big psychology in all of this. It's called the drama triangle, and I think we'll only visit it a little bit tonight. I'll talk about it in another talk, but the drama triangle says that there is a perpetrator, the bad guy. There's a victim, usually that's us, of course, right? Victim has to have a perpetrator. You have to have that in order to be the victim. And then there's the hero who comes in and saves the day, right? Now, this is a structure that we see a lot in advertising and politics, where somebody will either invent or create or describe a problem that may or may not be real, it's othering. Create the other who is the cause of the problem, stealing our jobs, whatever it is, or you need this cosmetic thing or this clothing item, because you're not good enough as you are. So that's where you become into this victim role, this little person. Yeah, and the perpetrator might be another person, or it might be my weight, or it might be whatever it is. And then here's the hero that comes in, whether it's the political leader, or it's the candidate, or the cosmetic. It's something that's going to save you. Now, the problem with this triangle is, first of all, we all play all of the roles at some point. And in fact, many times during the day, you might find yourself in, I'm going to rescue you, I'm going to rescue you. Oh my God, that guy just told my parking place. I'm such a victim. How dare he do that? Oh, look, somebody's finding another place for me. We come into lots of mechanizations around this, right? Did I just make up a word? Why not? So we build a portfolio. We keep score. We build a portfolio of people that we're angry at, people who have victimized us, or reasons to be victimized, whether it's situations, whether it's economics, whether it's a job or a boss, or a relationship, or the weather, whatever it is. But we build like a whole portfolio of this, and then we have to keep score, and it's a lot of work. It really is. And The thing is, social media is not our friend in this experience. I just want to ask you, how many times have you found yourself taking sides this last week? Has Elon Musk gotten your goat yet? Jeffrey Zuckerberg working your last nerve? Anything else going on? Maybe you've got some noisy neighbors and you're plotting your revenge for all that lost sleep. So we gather evidence and we convict. So we are judge and jury with all of that. And it's fascinating to me that, as William Blake said, it's easier to forgive an enemy than a friend. Because the anonymous other, the anonymous enemy, or the anonymous perpetrator, whatever that is, we can certainly wrap our minds and our hearts around the general idea of forgiveness. But if it's someone who's close to us, then there's that betrayal that kicks in. And it's very challenging to forgive. It's very challenging. So I was reading some, The Four Agreements, Don Miguel Ruiz, and he wrote, "The problem with most people is that they live their lives and never discover that the judge and the victim rule their mind, and therefore they don't have a chance to be free." So we have the judge and we have the victim ruling our mind, and we are all of that, right? So where is your mind possibly being ruled by your judge or your victim, your inner judge, your inner victim? And what experiences have you cataloged lately, or maybe over time, over the course of your life, according to how you can judge what happened or how you were a victim in what happened? This is the stuff that spiritual growth, by the way, is made on. This is how we grow, is by looking at this. What relationships have you found yourself sorting and prioritizing according to how much you can judge that person, or how much that person has victimized you? You've got the columns, right, in your mind. This person I can trust. This person hurt me. This person, well, we haven't really started. Jury is still out on that one. So, in other words, what does your inner scoreboard look like? Just think about this. I'll give you a moment. Just think about, who are you holding some stuff on, or who do you think is just not, you're just not going to love. You just can't, because there's just too much. There's just so much. Water under the bridge, I don't know. I think it's all dammed up and flooding everywhere. Just think about it. And I want to go back to what Don Miguel Ruiz wrote. The problem with most people is that they live their lives and never discover that the judge and the victim rule their mind, and therefore they don't have a chance to be free. And that's the problem. We are being ruled by these we'll call them discernments of who is wrong and who is right, who wins, who loses, who's in the plus, who's in the negative. And it doesn't serve us. It is not serving us. To the degree, by the way, that we bind ourselves to judgment or victim assessment, we are indeed bound ourselves. To the degree that we tie ourselves and really commit to judging or to being a victim, then we are absolutely, ta-da, there we are. We are stuck in that place. So then we hear the question, especially around New Thought churches and Course in Miracles, anywhere where people get together, right? And as a mom, I said it all the time to my kid, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? Right? Right? And then the whiny, judgy, victim-y part of us likes to respond with, but being right will make me happy. But does it really? I mean, really? Does it? Because the energy it takes to keep our judgments, our anger, and our resistance alive and functioning sucks the vitality out of our bodies, our minds, our hearts, and our daily lives. And by the way, helps to create the conditions for illness, for financial issues, lots of relationship issues. It all contributes because, it's all one. We are in this system, this spiritual system, this body that you and I inhabit happens to have some physicality to it, but we are also in this spiritual context with everything and everyone, right? So again, is it worth it? And then you hear again, the little voice goes, but being right makes me happy. So, what is the actual process of forgiveness? How do we forgive? I've thought about this. I mean, about every 6 or 8 months, I do a talk on forgiveness, because this is something that I really want to understand, and I've been working with for a long time. I mean, I grew up in America, I grew up. I'm a person living in this country in this century. I have stuff to forgive. I've got stuff. I've got issues. Okay, so there we have it. No secret, right? We all do. So I really look at a lot of stuff around what it takes to be free. So one of my favorite writers on this, and she wrote this in 1903, her book was published, Emily Cady. And she wrote this, and she said, to forgive does not simply mean to arrive at a place of indifference to those who do personal injury to us. It means far more than this. To forgive is to give for. Just reverse it. Forgive, give for. To give some actual, definite good in return for evil given. Whoa. Okay, now there's something concrete there. I can work with that. But what does it mean? How do we do that? What is the actual definite good that we can give, that we need to give, in return for what we have gone through as that quote-unquote evil given, our perception of the evil given? How do we find that thing? How do we give for? We give for our good. We give for our peace. We are giving for our peace, our abundance, our health. We forgive for us. We give for us. Does this make sense? Okay. Only one person said yeah, it's okay. And you're a minister, so that's not fair. So what is the actual definite good? Well, here's some examples. Gratitude. And it doesn't necessarily have to be gratitude for what happened. You know, we talk about gratitude in the midst. And gratitude does, by the way, does not require a target or a specific subject. You can be grateful for your life over here and still have stuff going on over here. And the gratitude over here will bless this stuff over here. Gratitude is an energy. It is an activity that we do. It's a commitment to invoke a sense of peace, appreciation, and joy. So compassion is an actual definite good. Compassion. Willingness is an actual definite good. Love is an actual definite good. And the way to activate the peace that comes from this giving for is to give that compassion, that gratitude, that willingness, and that love to yourself. To yourself. See, it's not as bad as you thought it was going to be, right? Or maybe it's worse. So you may have heard that all forgiveness is self-forgiveness. And that's really true. Because if we look at this idea of oneness, there is one mind, one life, and it is common to all of us. We are woven together in that love, that intelligence, that heart that we call God, that we call spirit, that we call grace, that we call harmony, order, whatever it is that we choose to invoke as that power and presence. We are all in it together. We are all in it together. So all forgiveness is self-forgiveness, which means that we start right where we are. We start where we are, and we give compassion, willingness, and love to ourselves. To ourselves. You know, we've gone through some stuff. We're worthy of compassion, don't you think? We've gone through stuff. We are worthy of willingness to unfold, to surrender, to relax, to feel joy. And we are certainly willing, rather, we are certainly worthy of that love. And now, when we do this, I'm not saying in a narcissistic or protecting the ego kind of way. I mean in a genuine, authentic, it's a willing acknowledgement that you are a creation of spirit. You are an infinite creation. You are God's demonstration. You are God's expression. And that the light within your very being, we call it the Christ light, the God light, the Buddha light, whatever you want to call it. But that light, that perfect pattern within you, that spiritual blueprint is another one that we've heard and use a lot. But that light is the real truth of who and what you are. That stuff that has happened over here is stuff that has happened over here. It does not define you. It does not limit you or define you. And your identity, once you recognize this, no longer has to be circumscribed or described or in any way anchored according to what may have been done. This teaching is so much more than feel-good pats on the back or channeling your inner cheerleader so you stop feeling that existential angst for a brief moment or two. We do more than that. And we don't get to an authentic knowing of ourselves by mindlessly repeating little spiritual high fives to ourselves when we're feeling scared, lost, angry, alone, or stuck. We have to actually go deeper. Now, the affirmations are absolutely, that's what kind of opens the door. It opens our mind. But that's when we get to unfold and reveal the greater possibility, the greater truth of who we are, that greater, oh my gosh, the magnificence and the glory within us. So what we long for is the peace that can only come from real oneness, of knowing and feeling oneness. And we have to do the work. We have to do the work. I can't give it to you. No one can give it to you. No one can give it to me. Man, there have been so many times when I wish somebody would just make it better. Be my hero. Oh, me, here I am in my victim stage because the perpetrator or whatever this happened. Be my hero. Fix me. Make me better. Elevate me. And so we go to our conferences and we feel good for a week and we come home, we go, oh. Or we go to church for an hour on Sunday, an hour on Wednesday. We feel good for an hour on Sunday, an hour on Wednesday, maybe 5 minutes out of the parking lot, and then we go, oh. There's more to it than that. But we do make it a lot more complicated than it actually is. It's not hard. It's actually that invitation that is calling us to shine that light and to celebrate, not suffer. We are not here to suffer and to struggle. If anyone told you that, probably the best that they knew, but they were wrong. They were wrong. We'll forgive them. Okay, we're going to forgive them for that. We're going to give them and ourselves compassion because that's the best they knew. We tend to wait, too, until we're like hip deep in drama and emotional garbage before we finally stop and admit, oh, maybe it's time for me to get with the program. Maybe I just need to do something different. You've all heard the definition of insanity, right? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. When we use the phrase spiritual magic, it's not in terms of the magic we wish would happen, but it's the real magic that does happen, right? We think of, gosh, I wish somebody would just come along, magic wand and fix it. That's the magical thinking. Spiritual magic isn't magic, and yet it feels like it is. Emily Cady again. And by the way, her book is just wonderful, and let me just see if I can find. It's, again, 1903, Lessons in Truth. Lessons in Truth. 1903, she wrote this stuff. She said, there should not be a running to and fro, making human efforts to aid the divine, but a calm, restful, unwavering trust in all wisdom and all power within as able to accomplish the thing desired. And I really love that because there have been times when I have prayed, I have done my spiritual work, I've done my spiritual mind treatments, that's a form of prayer that we teach here, and then I get out my bulldozer to move those things into place because I just know that God's going to need some guidance from me. God's going to need to know how to do this, man. Do not be under bondage to false beliefs about your circumstances or environment. Oh, this is the one that will really set you free, but first it's going to annoy you. God is in everything. that happens to us. God is in everything. The ultimate aim of every man and woman should be to come into the consciousness of an indwelling God, and then in all external matters to affirm deliverance through and by this divine one. So not the God up here, the hero God that so many of us grew up with, but the one power and presence that surrounds and fills us and is the truth of who we are. That when we are willing to step into a greater awareness, to invoke a greater awareness, to cultivate it through study, through practice, through meditation, through there are spiritual practices that are part of what we do to grow. Tithing is one, praying is one, serving, being of service. Those are the things that open us up to that wonderful, wonderful inspiration that can often be blocked because we haven't forgiven, because we are holding a resentment, we are keeping score, we are blocking love from flowing out from us, okay? So why do we need to do this? Why do we need to do this? But Reverend Sidney, can't I just keep score and not worry about how life shows up for me? Why does it matter? Okay, here's one. Let's talk about money and forgiveness. Yeah, anybody? If you've been asleep, I want you to wake up now. I'm thinking money might get your attention. When we block or withhold forgiveness, which means we have stopped the outflow of love from within, our lives are going to reflect our withholding. I'm sorry, I love you enough to tell you this. When we block our love, when we block our forgiveness, and by the way, judgment is blocking love, anger blocks love, resentment blocks love, keeping score blocks love. When we do that, we are blocking ourselves from the flow. We're slamming the door shut. So if you're having a money problem, consider that the problem is simply there to alert you to a blockage in your own outflow of love. That there might be something worth looking at that is blocking, okay? The money problem is a symptom of a love problem. Starts with a self-love problem, a compassion problem, a resentment problem, or a judgment problem. But the money is a symptom. And by the way, health is a symptom of something deeper going on. Relationship problems are symptoms of something else going on. And the deeper something else can always be eventually traced to the flow of love. Where are we stopping the love? And most of us stop the love for ourselves. We start there. We start there because we have not generally been raised to know how worthy we are, just simply by virtue of the fact that we are here. We're here and breathing. So we are divine. That's all it took to get here. You are magnificent as you are. You are worthy. You are beautiful, and you are necessary to the expression of the gifts that you possess that nobody else can express in the way that you express them. Nobody else can do that. Your spiritual DNA is so unique that even if you have a twin, you're still going to express in different ways. You have different gifts because we all individualize the infinite, the infinite. Some of you might have heard of Edwene Gaines, who is a wonderful writer. And she has taught for years, and it's her third rule of prosperity, is how to become debt-free. Forgive. To forgive. You know, we hear this thing, forgive us our debts as we have forgiven our debtors. Forgive us our trespasses, right? Our debtors is a spiritual equation telling us how to become debt-free. To forgive ourselves and to forgive other people, to give love for that debt, to give peace for that debt, to cultivate compassion for that debt, right? Does that make sense? Okay, good. To the degree, and she writes this, to the degree that we forgive ourselves and others, to that same degree will our debts disappear and financial worries will be gone. Now, I just want to dive into, last year I did a talk that was a really, really deep look at the Lord's Prayer, because a lot of people have problems saying the Lord's Prayer. I do. I'm going to be honest about that. But I took it into what the metaphysical and the spiritual meaning is, which is fantastic. And we're going to be doing a labyrinth walk in September 21st and 22nd, I think. I want to invite you, make sure you mark that in your calendars, because the presentation that we do on that is that the Lord's Prayer is about recognizing that the heaven that we speak of in that prayer is that which is within us. It is that higher awareness. It is our spiritual awareness. It is not geographical heaven. I forgive my trespasses and those who trespass against me. Deliver me from evil. And that deliver me from evil is not evil like the devil, like whatever it is that you grew up thinking or your icons might be for you, but the evil that happens by our wrong thinking about who we are, by our sense of separation from God. We create these issues and blocks for ourselves, right? We don't think we're worthy. We don't think we're spiritual. We don't think we're God beings. We don't know. Nobody ever told us, perhaps. And so the evil just simply means the effects of that thinking. And so the Lord's Prayer is a transcendence prayer. It is about transcending into another way of thinking, of realizing that our Father, and by the way, that prayer, the phrase our Father, is just so that we know that we are sourced from that. We're sourced from it. It could be our mother, okay? We are sourced, but it gives us a closer relationship rather than God in the sky. But our Father, our source, I'm from this, I am from this. So, wow, if I'm from that, then I must have some resemblance. Oh, far more than that. You are a divine being. You are a divine being. So, be willing to ask the question, is there something here for me to know as you begin to look at those areas where there might be blockages? And it's easiest to start with your money. I just think that that's the easiest, quickest way to start. So is there something, as you are in your meditation, is there something here for me to know? Is there something or someone here for me to forgive? Is there something here for me to forgive? I will tell you that when I was wanting to candidate for churches, and I had candidated for many churches, and they were all wonderful, and a number of them said, wow, this would be great, we'd love, and they wanted me to come, but it wasn't feeling right. There just wasn't something there. And I began to really look at why haven't I found that, as we call it, that right and perfect place, that R&P place. And it dawned on me that I had some forgiveness work to do. And I had forgiveness work to do of a minister that I had worked with for a long time. I had to forgive a minister. As a minister, I had to forgive a minister because I was looking to go into a position as a minister. So, and I went, oh, hell, I have to forgive her? Jeez. And there was resistance because I didn't want to give up my story. I just didn't want to give up my story. There's this whole, we get a payoff from having our story. In fact, Ernest Holmes, I found this today. Because I could go right into the negative parts of this and how it was just so wrong and blah, 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 damn, yammer. And Ernest Holmes wrote, pessimism is not a spiritual quality. It is a mental disease. Oh, man. Fear and discouragement are the two greatest instruments that any theoretical devil would need to dampen the ardor or enthusiasm that one might have. So when I forgave, two things opened up for me right away. And one of them was this church. I didn't even candidate for this church. I got a call from Dr. Mark because I had studied here and gotten my practitioner license. And this is a thing that we teach, that when we are in alignment and when we are in full connection and awareness of our divinity and our worthiness and our spiritual inheritance, when we are fully connected and active in that, things begin to fall together as if by magic. As if by magic. And I got this phone call one day. Hey, it's Dr. Mark. Reverend Mark just said he's going to retire. Would you, by any chance, ever think about coming back down here to be my assistant minister? This is my dream job. It's my dream job. And like I said, I didn't even have to audition for it. How often does that happen? Man, it was just such a profoundly perfect blessing because everything lined up. Why? Because I got in line. I got with the program. So be willing to ask that question. Be willing to sit down, look at when your money stopped, go back in time, and then look at what was going on in your life during that time. What was going on? Who or what did you withhold love from? Who or what maybe did something to you? Where did you feel victimized? Where was there a crime or something? What happened? What was going on? Look at that. Is it worth holding on to and being right about it so that your money doesn't come back? Or is it worth giving it up so that you can get back into the infinite abundant flow of who you are? Is it worth it? I mean, we can be right or we can be happy, right? But the first thing you want to do then is forgive yourself. You did the best you could. Give for. So give love for that experience. Give compassion for, oh my gosh, that inner child of me, that person I am. Compassion. I forgive myself for doing the best I could that I think wasn't good enough, but it really, really was, and I am loved, and I am willing to love. There's the willingness. I'm willing to love myself. I am willing to know I am worthy. I am willing to live in joy. I am willing to have peace. I am willing to feel peaceful about this. I am willing to think differently about this. I am willing to feel differently about this. I am willing. The prayer of willingness for me has been the most powerful prayer I could ever, ever pray. The amazing thing that we call life is perfectly harmonized and balanced to tell us everything we need to know. It is so perfectly organized to reflect our beliefs, our fears, our love, our faith, our doubts, our hopes, and our thinking. So whether you think it's true or not, try it. Just try it. Try looking at what happens around you or to you as connected to that which is happening inside you. So I want to share what Emily Cady wrote in 1903 in the preface to her book, Lessons in Truth. So she taught this as a class, and I love the advice for those of us who are skeptics, and I would be one, and resistant. Yeah, that would make me too. And she said, in entering upon this course of instruction, each of you should, so far as possible, lay aside for the time being all previous theories and beliefs. By so doing, you will be saved the trouble of trying all the way through the course to put new wine into old wineskins. And you know what happens with that, right? That was why that was such a profound lesson. When you put the new wine in the old wineskins, they have dried up and they burst. And so what you pour in there it's gone, it's wasted, it's on the ground. That's the idea. So we are looking to be transformed, to be renewed, to be transformed, to put this new idea into ourselves and to recognize and know ourselves as new beings. If there is anything as we proceed which you do not understand or agree with, just let it lie passively in your mind until you have read the entire book. For many statements that would at first arouse antagonism and discussion will be clear and easily accepted a little farther on. After this course is completed, if you wish to return to your old beliefs and ways of living, you are at perfect liberty to do so. But for the time being, be willing to become as a little child. Isn't that powerful? So as we walk into these classes, to this church, to these ideas, to these possibilities, be willing to just set it aside. Set the judgment, the skepticism, all the stuff that you might have grown up with just for the moment, so that there can be a possibility of an opening. And this week, I invite you to shift from the idea that life is happening to you, that you're a victim, or life is happening at you. Consider that everything that is happening through you is happening, rather, consider that everything is happening through you. It is happening through you in order to support you in revealing the power and the glory alive and active within you. So there's just one more thing I wanted, and I think this is my quote. When we have moved from the idea that God is the giver to the knowing that God is the gift, source and substance are the same. God is the gift, then we begin to glimpse who we are as spiritual beings in a spiritual universe governed by spiritual laws. Go forth and forgive and enjoy your life, and so it is. Thank you. So let's just take this and anchor it in prayer. And I think tonight, as I do this, I'm going to pray in the first person. And I invite you to just hear this as that voice within your soul, that I am, that divine I am. I am the power and the presence. And it is calling forth now to assist in revealing the high truth for who and what you are. So I speak now and recognize that the infinite love, the infinite power, that which we call God, that which I call Spirit, is working through me now as it unifies me again and again and again with the truth that I am God made manifest. And in that knowing, I easily set down, release, surrender, give up any ideas of limitation, any ideas that might have appeared to define me or create within me an identity of being less than the light of God in expression. And as I allow that I am to flow through my mind, my wonderful mind, which is sourced by the infinite mind of God, knowing that it is just one mind, I know that all that I need to know is revealed easily. If there is something for me to know and to reveal about my health, I am open to it. And I allow it to be known. And I allow the wholeness that is already there, already the truth of God, regardless of whether I know what is going on or not. I allow it, I invite it, I encourage it, I am willing, I am available for that wholeness to be my identity. It flows through me on every level, every tissue, every cell is alive with the light of God, every fiber, every bone, every part of me, every atom, every molecule. Every part of my physicality is God expressing, is wholeness expressing, is the light alive and in celebration. I allow it to be so. I set aside questions and just say, yes, 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 I accept, I accept. And in the area of finance, I say, God, I am willing to be blessed, to live in this opulence, to live in this full, beautiful universe, knowing that I am supplied always with everything I need. Plenty to share, to spare. I am the love of God, and I am richly blessed. I know I have all that I need, and therefore I have the freedom to do what I want to do. That which I am inspired to create comes through me freely, fully. And I trust that whatever that inspiration is, everything necessary to that full and complete expression of wholeness, of love, of light, of God, is already within every idea, every inspiration. And if the apparent need right now is about peace of mind for someone in my family, for a place in the world, for any being anywhere, any child anywhere, any animal anywhere. I allow the peace that is the truth about God to flood my entire awareness so that it oozes forth from me, blasts forth from me as peace that touches all beings everywhere. I know that I am a vehicle for peace. I am a conduit for peace. I am here as the demonstration of peace itself. And with all of this, I know that this church is blessed, that all who are here, whether to be served or in service, are also blessed, and that this church is a blessing. That as we go forth, we bless all churches, all mosques, synagogues, temples, cathedrals, ashrams, all paths to God. We know that wherever people gather, light is being revealed in a greater, more loving, more perfect way, always, always to the harmony of this divine universe. So I'm grateful that I know that we are absolutely God beings, living in harmony and balance with the life that is the truth of us. We are defined by God. We are divined by God. How wonderful to know that. I release this word into law, knowing it is so. And together we say, Amen. Joy and peace in my life, always I feel joy and peace in my mind. God within revealed, joy and peace in my life. I am healed. Joy and peace in my heart, always I feel joy and peace in my mind. God within revealed, joy and peace in my life. I am healed. Yeah. Joy and peace in my heart, always I feel joy and peace in my mind. God within revealed, joy and peace in my life. I am healed. I am healed. I am healed. Amen. Yeah. So now is the time when we invite you to share your tithes, your love offerings, your gifts. And so we are going to have our ushers come forward in a minute, and they are going to allow all of us to be able to share in these wonderful times, this basket, and to share this gift to keep all of this moving and flowing. So would you say with me your statement of giving? From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and bless and prosper. It is evidence of my faith and belief. It does good work in the world and returns to me multiplied abundantly.
If there was only one prayer ever spoken, only one prayer ever heard, only one heart ever broken, it would be enough to speak these words. Thank you. for everything. Thank you, yes. Thank you for everything. If there is only one life that we're living, only one breath and one voice, only one hurt we're forgiving, it would be enough to make this choice. Sing it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for everything. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for everything. 'Cause there is power in a grateful heart, turning every fear into a work of art. If there's only one love that we're giving, only one fire that burns, only one reason for living, this would be the lesson we would learn. Thank you. Sing it with me. Thank you. Thank you for everything. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for everything. Thank you for everything. Thank you for everything. Put your hands on your heart. Thank yourself. Thank you. I bless myself now. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I don't want to lose my book. Come on up. Come on up.
It is now time for announcements for June 28th. Make donations to our church through our text to give number, QR code, or through our website, nhcrs.org/give. Prayer with the practitioner is available after the service or on Zoom, so you come up here if you would like prayer, if you're in person. Or if you're on Facebook or any of the other streaming services, just go on Zoom and you can pray with a practitioner. Wednesday Taizé service with practitioner Joanne O'Brien. Meditation starts at 6:50 and the service is at 7 p.m. Join us next week for a wonderful evening of chanting, meditation, and prayer. Bless you. There will be a potluck following, so please bring a dish to share, and that's on July 5th. Okay. Men's group meets this Sunday at 11 a.m. in the Ernest Holmes room. That's July 2nd. Join us this Sunday for a free barbecue after the 11:30 service, July 2nd. We'll have delicious food, wonderful fellowship, and great music with Mary Hyland and Gilbert Acuna. Also, be sure to stop and shop at our pop-up book sale on the patio. Ooh. The women's group will not meet this Sunday because they will be helping with the barbecue. Their next meeting will be Sunday, August 6th. Creative Arts Ministry, July Movie Night. Gratitude Revealed. Join us Friday, July 21st from 7 to 9 p.m. in the sanctuary for a private showing of this beautiful film that focuses on the power and principle of gratitude. There will be refreshments and fellowship afterwards on the patio. The suggested donation is $10. Abundance Workshop 2022 with 2023, I think, but 2023 with Dr. Mark Vieira. 4 Mondays starting July 24th from 6:30 to 8 p.m. on Zoom only. Join Dr. Mark for this amazing workshop where you'll learn how to expand your prosperity consciousness. The class will be based on the book A Happy Pocket Full of Money by David Cameron Gikondi, available in our bookstore. Sign up on our website. Cost is responsible giving. Save the date, Sunday, July 30th. Join us for a Taste of Soul fundraiser. Come feed your soul at this wonderfully delicious event. There will be great food, a silent auction, kids' bounce house, face painting, music, and fun for the whole family. Get tickets and more information Sunday on the patio. There's a Zoom virtual patio before and after Sunday and Wednesday services if you're on Zoom. There's a Zoom meditation every morning, Monday through Saturday, 7:55 a.m. through 8:15 a.m. Visit our website, NHCRS.org, to obtain Zoom links and more info about our events and to sign up for weekly e-blasts and monthly newsletters. Thank you.
Good job. I want to thank Mary Catherine O'Hart for holding vigil tonight, and our Zoom support was Lynn Romanowski, Barbara Berg, and lights and sound, Adam Keshen, the rock star back there. Our greeter usher was Deborah Lockett. Thank you. Sanctuary Media Team, Doreen Remo, Brenda Jordan, Nikki Zavara, Colleen Wilson, and Blair Thompson. Some of them are here, some of them are in the ethers. Karen Mitchell, you are so awesome. And Karen Hammock, yes, make sure you give her some love. Gail, thank you so much for being here. I'm Rev Sydney. Let's sing our closing song and go get coffee, shall we? With love, anything is possible. Any mountain can be climbed. Any river can be crossed. Nothing's ever lost with love. Anything is possible. It's possible. Oh, with love. You can stand if you like. Anything is possible. Any mountain can be climbed. Any river can be crossed. Nothing's ever lost. Oh, with love, anything is possible. I know it's possible. Oh, with love, anything is possible. Any mountain can be climbed. Any river can be crossed. I know that nothing's ever lost. With love, anything is possible. I know with love, anything is possible. Just keep doing that. All right, so let me just benedict us out. I surround each soul here in a circle of spiritual light, a spiritual magic tube of light protection energy that is impenetrable, invulnerable, and invincible. A ring pass not. Nothing shall touch the direct action of love. This is the truth. I know it. God knows it. And I know that I know it. Let's say our prayer for protection, shall we? The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Have a wonderful week. I'll see you out on the patio.